We got a lot of things here, potential. I see a lot of replies, though, so it's not...
thank goodness.
Thank goodness. Paul Nimmons, well, no SpaceX for me, back to the food truck and all the glory. Anywho, understanding how absolutely dangerous it is, would you ever want to try a direct fire still?
No.
It seems like a really...
Pain in the ass.
The danger aside, just trying to get a consistent result every time.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We were talking about, and you can still hear me, right? I just need water.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
We were talking about this at in the whiskey class.
Yeah.
There's a distillery, Mount Vernon Distillery, that is a real distillery built on the historic location of Washington's original distillery.
Okay.
And they're trying to make Washington old, and it's a direct fire still.
I've seen that, yeah.
And they're like, what Jason was saying was like, there's burnt notes in the like, because you can't help but scorch some of the grains as you're.
Yeah.
And he's like, it actually adds this nice complexity to it, but it's like there's no consistency.
Yeah, and if I remember right, because it's historical, like a lot of people will they'll dress up in period,
he's in period
appropriate stuff.
Yeah.
And,
He's a full-time distiller in period costume with a direct fire still.
Yeah, I think it was a YouTube video I was watching, but it looked cool, yeah. Samuel Stressball, 19 grams of sugar and 1 pound of peanuts is the average answer I got from the old interwebs. Theoretically, we could get legume shine, brown lightning, peanut chew make. All right. We can come up with a punny name later. And essential beard oils for MBs everywhere. All right. We could all smear Rex's peanutty, oily goodness into our beards for ultimate beard health and beauty. Then drink the Mooch's concentrate for inner beauty and health. Yes, sorry, had too much fun with that one. That's good, though.
Yeah.
That's good.
Taylor Williams said, good day, gents.
Good day.
What would be your first piece of advice for starting a distillery?
Lawyer.
Lawyer, followed by go to Moonshine University.
Well, hold on. I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
Go to Moonshine University, but if you really want to do it, you're going to have to take with a grain of salt everything that you learn, because everything that you learn is going to tell you, you shouldn't do this at all.
Yeah.
This is a bad idea.
Yeah.
You are going to make no money and have all of the headache.
Yeah.
So
and if that stops you, it should.
Yeah.
If you come out of that going I'm obviously the exception.
The number of people who come out of that being like, hey, well, maybe we'll go over here now.
Yeah. And it should. If that dissuades you, it should. Yeah.
We have
Scott Sutton.
Yep.
What's one thing you would say would be a must-have for someone looking to expand their taste in the whiskey world? Find a good whiskey bar so you can try a whole bunch of different things without having to buy bottles.
Turnstile. Have you heard of this? Mm-mm. It's up near, the Austin FC, the soccer stadium?
Oh, yeah. I see the exit for it.
Okay, it's very nearby.
Yeah.
Turnstile. I popped in there. It's like an old remodeled Sonic building.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
With like the drive-through looking, or not?
Well,
like
they took the drive-throughs, but it's
Okay.
that long, narrow building.
Right.
Really good coffees.
Okay.
And beers.
Okay.
And surprisingly good.
Wow.
Whiskey selection.
Such a coffee shop cocktail place.
Well, yeah, and food too. Turnstile, and that I know. Like I'm in there, and
they're doing it all.
Well, I got like a coffee. It was like an interesting beer, and then I'm looking on the walls, like,
wait a minute.
You have some really impressive. So yeah, we tried some.
Yeah, find a good bar. That's the fastest way to grow.
But I'm saying if you're in Austin, Turnstile, it's the sleeper hit, the hidden gem that nobody knows about.
Yeah, there's a lot of other ones people do know about.
Chris McKee. We has Crowded Barrel done any collabs or thought about collabs outside of Texas?
Yeah, we're working on it. We did Wyoming.
Yeah, we did Wyoming. And
we're working with another one right now. I don't know if we're ready to talk about it yet.
And the Crowded Barrel coffee, you're going to have to remind me.
Monotani.
Yeah. Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to start working Monotani.
That's one of those distilleries that we tried something in here, really liked it, and then started a conversation. And but the Crowded Barrel coffee, that's not really a collab. We're just getting barrels and then kind of marrying the essence of the
spirits-wise, we're growing. We're doing more. Hey, that $200 challenge idea, that was a thing? Did that happen? It was an idea. It didn't happen.
What was the challenge?
Give everybody $200 and to buy a core whiskey lineup.
No. We had about 3 different content meetings about that idea, and we kept getting through to like a certain point. It's like, this isn't.
This will break here.
Yes.
This will break here. This will break here.
So if we can figure out how to have it not break,
then
yes. But there's a lot of moving parts to it.
Josh Newby here. I'm not sure if it's been done. But what about having the patrons vote on their favorite beer and then using the same grain bill from the beer to make a whiskey? You could, but the grain bill is going to be simple because it's going to be malt.
And,
Typically.
Well, and if there's hops in there, then yeah.
Well, I mean, but he's saying if you just take the grain from it.
Yeah.
But even then, it's just going to be varieties of malts, which could be interesting, but it's not going to be like out in the middle of left field. It's going to be malt.
Could be interesting.
You're going to make a malt.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to take like a Jester King,
Or maybe if it was
that could be
different,
interesting.
like a sour or something.
Versus like a Coors Light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yosh Pod in the last Q&A, Daniel mentioned that Kyle can make any beer he wants. Yeah, I mean, yes, he can. He can't sell it. Hey, is that something you could sell? Oh, no.
So it'd cost about $3,000 or $4,000 a year.
Yeah,
No,
if
every
we
2
wanted to
years.
sell beer
Right.
every 2 years.
And we have to store the beer in a
Yeah.
different location from where we're storing the whiskey.
From start to finish, like the equipment. So there's a distillery locally that does this.
Yeah.
And they do it on paper. And Jason was talking, Sauter and I were talking about this, or Sauter was talking about it. During the week, like certain days of the week, the distillery footprint grows to encompass this equipment for reporting purposes.
Yeah.
And then the end of the week, the brewery side grows for 2 days to encompass this equipment.
Yeah.
And they have to just like juggle this reporting nonstop. Pain in the ass.
No, but it's clever. I like,
We are saying,
I like
however,
the
that
gamesmanship.
if we turn it into a spirit, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Brandon. Paul Brandon. I know there are rules regarding grains used in various whiskey styles, but are there rules regarding what liquid is used? It has to be water.
Yeah.
Has to be water. Can't be any adulterated other substance. I probably shouldn't put that on.
Love the modified course system,
Oh, okay.
Hamilton.
Thank you.
Nick Stratton. I have enjoyed whiskey cocktails for a long time, but I've only recently delved heavily into drinking it neat. I enjoy the hell out of American single malt. You got the
good, yeah.
Balcones, you got the Stranahans, you got the etc. Bourbon, and love Highland Scotch. What I don't understand is peated Scotch. Tastes like the mash bill was exclusively Old Band-Aids.
Yeah.
Is it an acquired taste?
Yes.
Yeah. Could I grow to appreciate it? It's happened.
It's happened. I've seen it happen in this room multiple times.
Or is it like cilantro, where some people have different chemistry and actually taste it differently?
I don't think it's like cilantro, but I think it is repetition, and there'll be a day where all of a sudden, just out of the blue, it goes from only smoky to like, oh, other things. That's the day.
Eric McKinney, hey guys, been doing some historical research and came across nixtamalization, or alkali treating corn to improve availability of a bunch of vitamins that aren't normally bioavailable. I was wondering, is nixtamalized corn still viable for fermenting and distilling? What's the trade-off?
No idea.
And is it? Yeah, I've no idea. Never heard about that. I would suspect it would be fine though.
Yeah, because the thing that you need to affect for fermentation is just the starches.
Yeah,
so as long as whatever you're doing doesn't affect that, it's no big
starches, if there's starches available, that gets turned into sugar, and sugar turns into fermented. Yeah, okay.
Ryan Deek feels like there hasn't been an impromptu Facebook Live on the back of Daniel's porch. I haven't done that. I've thought about it. But yeah, why not?
While we were on the subject, why doesn't Rex ever do that?
Because Rex is busy. And here's what happens. I do it only when I'm sitting on the back of my deck, I get done with something that's been on my calendar, and I unexpectedly have like 2 hours, and I'm not done with my cigar, and I still want to have some whiskey, and everybody I know is busy.
You're gonna make the cigar business expense.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Everyone I know is busy and doing things, so I can't ask anyone to come over. They're all busy, and I'm like, okay, I could read a book, or I could, you know what? I'll just do a little Facebook Live. And it originated out of me feeling bad that I wasn't more involved in the Facebook group. And that was my way of trying to be like, no, I do
things. I do things.
And I just haven't had time. Honestly, this week is the end of a journey that has consumed me for about 6 months.
It's transitioning.
And so I'm about to have a little more headspace because we just finished level 4, Bonafide, Whiskey State Bourbon Executive, and the Edinburgh Whiskey Academy, all.
Yeah, and I turn off content mode when I get home.
Yeah.
A lot of these people that are do social
They
media and they're content creators, they eat, sleep, and breathe the attention. I do not. And when I get home, there's a very, very binary, on-off switch that gets flipped. And it's like, okay, I'm not get in front of a camera mode.
Cooking with Squirrel. What kind of food component will Alchemy have? Definitely not a full kitchen.
No, we'll not. Pairing items and
Yeah,
there's gonna
from the
be-
food truck.
Well, there's the food truck that has like
Right.
just the classic standard, the tacos, the burgers, the fries.
Yeah.
And then side quest.
Right.
Side quest. This is where we're going to get like very nerd, foodie, experimental, like getting really deep into precise flavor combinations. With here's the layers of notes in a spirit, then here's like the charred pear around a medallion of marinated pork, and so there's gonna be side quest with Michael Fee,
Right.
and then the Buca de Beppe.
And then I think there was some talk about like if you have food inside the building, it's going to be more like Starbucks, where it's prepackaged. You can buy
Yeah.
that. It's already made by somebody else.
Well, we're also talking about having Michael make that, so
Okay.
it's just
for
really
him.
good high-end stuff.
That'd be
I'm sure we're
even
gonna have some little, dinky packaged things for convenience.
Yeah. Muffins.
If you're just on the go and
Chips.
you don't want to futz around too much about it.
Yeah.
But to have just the exploration aspect to the food stuff. That's what we're aiming for.
Ed Stafford. Hey, Stafford. When are you guys coming to have a round with me at the Brandy? I'd love
That'd be
to
pretty
do that.
nice. That'd be pretty nice.
Loved. I'm going to be in D.C. this summer, but we can't make it up to New York.
You bring the library down here.
Yeah.
I love New York. New York's awesome.
Yeah.
It's been too long since I was there. Richard Reister. Can Rex do the bottle design on one of the upcoming releases? I want maximum fiddly bits. Also, my collection is nearing 80 bottles, which is nowhere near vault levels, but do you guys ever look at all the whiskey and have no clue what to have a pour of?
All the time.
Overchoice is a thing.
All the time.
80 bottles to me is getting overwhelming. I couldn't imagine having access to thousands.
No,
P.S. I haven't had it.
Anytime I walk in here, I'm like, I want a whiskey. Half my brain goes and fritzes out.
Yeah.
And then I end up walking over and just getting a Lafroig.
Well,
or a Jameson or
what's
something.
kind of fun is to just
Reach back and grab something.
point and then wherever you're directly in line with, get up to it and be like, no.
One to the right. Yeah. That's like when you were a kid and you were like, if I make this shot, she likes me. Think. Best out of 3.
Oh shit, I did that. The wind blew. I didn't
The
count.
wind blew. It didn't count. She loves me not. She loves me. She loves me. Dylan Munsterman. How much would the woodchuck chuck to get a decent flavor in a dark whiskey? 14 days and 8 kiloliters.
That tracks. Ace Johnson just got the second batch of the aged gin shipped in.
Yep.
And did an A/B comparison with the first batch, and honestly, I like the first. Really, that's
Oh, it's
interesting.
more oak
He
impact.
likes the oak impact. I liked like the creamy, velvety vanilla stuff on the second one. Wondering if we can double down and age the gin in a bourbon barrel for a longer time. Dude, it was already almost too oaky the first time.
Yeah, well, the second one's not because it was used oak. But if we wanted to take some of these bourbon barrels that we think we're totally done with, but they're not leaking.
So, because the first time was a new barrel.
All right.
And he's saying he liked the new barrel.
Yeah, better than the used barrel.
Barrel than the used barrel.
Yeah, so we could do another used, but just leave it in forever. But right now, we're low on gin. That's the problem.
Yeah,
So.
I think we can.
We'll see.
Yeah, we were talking about that a couple weeks ago. We didn't follow up the gin source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I emailed the same dudes again and still getting radio silence. So we're gonna have to start from scratch on let's find someone who's interested in working with us on the
Or
gin.
goons. I keep telling you, we need a
Goons?
goon budget. Hired goons. They
Yeah.
make progress happen. Zachary T. Kier. Hey, y'all. I'm getting confused about the used gin. I've been looking like a hawk to get some. In the past, you've mentioned that the reused second fill gin was even better. Yes, except not according to Ace Johnson. It was even better, but that there was only enough for the tasting room. Nope, they have enough used gin. Now, in the...
Did we release it? I didn't think we released it.
Yeah, the used?
Yeah.
In the link of this most recent episode.
Oh.
Jeremy Gregg episode.
Okay.
It was a gin episode with Jeremy Gregg.
Go look in that. That's where people are finding the link.
I mean, we've already sold hundreds and hundreds, but we still, at this point, should have some left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. The rest of his is just about everything we just said.
Okay.
Wart 9.
Scotty reinvents.
Oh, ever tried distilling vegetables?
Carrots, maybe.
Oh, last night I was on a stream with a Zoom with a whole bunch of distillers.
Yeah.
And somebody had found a carrot spirit.
Oh.
And they're like, it was actually really interesting, like meaty and
What was it? Clear Spirit.
sweet.
Where?
Yeah.
No, I saw this like 2 or 3 years ago. Oh yeah, but they liked it. I never tried it. But I just saw
Well, it was really weird, but they actually really liked it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Justin Toes. Cheers from Oregon, y'all. That's Texas talk. Thanks for teaching us. I've been coming across more whiskeys finished in Sauterne barrels. I have a Balcones, a couple of scotches. They're amazing. I understand it's a dessert wine. Yeah, I know sherry is discussed, but has finishing in Sauterne ever been talked about there, here? No, because it's not easy to get a Sauterne barrel comparatively. It's easier to get sherry barrels because there's a lot more of them. But I mean, we'd be open to it.
We got Justin, or not Justin, we got Samuel Straussbach. I know you want an
SS Moot ship.
an SS Mooch ship, but have you seen the Midnight Rider luxury big rig?
This feels like
40 people and has a literal bar
it's
inside.
like eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking.
So,
We're gonna
yeah,
do what they say it can't be done.
The only appeal of a yacht, even though I'm not a boat guy, is like if shit ever gets weird, like zombie apocalypse, right?
Just back off.
Or if I'm wanted by, I don't know, the government.
Just float into international waters.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mark CHT. What's the best way to have a Whiskey Tribe experience in one day in Austin?
I want to go there, and the money is like.
Come on a Friday happy hour where most people are hanging out and
Yep, Friday happy
do a
hour.
tour with Richard.
And then where would you go, like a Whiskey Tribe experience? What food do you recommend afterwards, though? Where should you try?
Well, if you like barbecue, we're right down the street from Salt Lake.
Right down Salt Lake. I feel
And then, otherwise, I go into downtown, and then there's your options
Live
are
music.
legion.
You got music. See what music's playing there.
Yeah, so many good things.
There's some comedy shows. You know what? Moon Tower's nice.
Yeah, Moon Tower's great.
Yeah.
For both of those things. Christian Lohman. Hello, Mr. Salmon, Mr. Mooch.
Hello.
I thank you as long overdue with hope for picking whiskey I could like. Before actively watching this, I had 20 plus bottles, but I drank 4 or 5. Now, after giving some away, I've kept around 8 that I replace regularly.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Well done, sir.
Need whiskey, send help. Have you tried the aged gin in any cocktails?
I know they were talking about it.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they've
It would be
experimented with
great.
it. I don't know if there's one. Is there an aged gin cocktail on the menu yet?
No,
I don't think
well, I mean, I don't really know because I don't look at the menu.
so. Yeah, you just kind of go.
I just walk in and go, I
Tell
want
them
that
what
one.
you want. There
Yeah,
needs to
more
be that.
often than I'd like to admit, I go in and get a pina colada.
Yeah, they're so. All right, I'm about to be so.
They're so good.
Well, I feel very self-conscious before I even said it. They're very calorie dense.
They are very calorie dense. That's why it's only every once in a while.
That is the weakest, softest thing I ever said in my life. All right. We have Need Whiskey, Send Help again. Can gin be made from new make or moonshine instead of vodka? If so, why would anyone want to use vodka? Well, if you just want the botanicals to show up, and because the moonshine and the new make is going to carry a lot of flavor with it, but if you want those botanicals to shine, and
Yeah,
legally, legally, I think it just needs to be
Have juniper.
just juniper.
But other than that, they don't care what the base is, as long
Yeah.
as it's a neutral spirit.
I mean, arguably, like a sweet new make could work with botanicals.
Well, but it needs to be neutral. So it has to be distilled high enough.
Yeah.
It can't just be moonshine off of a still.
Right.
Brad Edwards, no question. Oh, all right.
Okay.
Later.
I recently bought the flask from Whiskey Tribe store, and they were sweet. Yes, I got the Wilderness Trail bourbon.
Nice.
And the big one, and Jameson Stout cask, and the small one. Nice.
Good
oh,
choices.
yeah.
Martin Trudeau, Jameson Distillery makes Jameson whiskey. Buffalo Trace makes Buffalo Trace. Lagavulin makes Lagavulin. Lafroig makes Lafroig. Besides not wanting to attach your namesake to Sourced MGP, what has prevented you from making crowded barrel whiskey? Consistency.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
in one word.
Technically, actually, it's the Middleton Distillery that makes Jameson.
Yeah. But
your point is taken.
Consistency. It's just that we can't right now create something that if you fall in love with it, we can do it again and again and again and again and again.
Stephen Bruning. Not sure if you guys are big readers, but do you recommend? Man, I go. Sometimes I'm reading a lot, and then I'll go months without reading anything, and then reading a lot. Recommend any books on distilling?
Yeah.
What about marketing? Distilling,
Marketing is a whole other ballgame. Those are tougher. But distilling, there's a spreadsheet that we uploaded at one point. I'll see if I can find it and put it in the comments. It's open sourced, like shared. It was built by Reed Huddleston, and then I added some things to it.
Yeah.
And it's got a couple of thousand line items of books to read. And that only are about production and whiskey. It's no joke.
And you've read every single one.
No, I've read probably 300 or 400 of them.
We have David M. Do you have any experience with the Master Whiskey Aroma Kit? The product contains 88 aromas and is well reviewed, but I was wondering if you guys have any advice on this or a similar kit.
No, we use Aroma Academy for most of ours. And then there's Moonshine U has one. Mm-hmm. I've never even heard of the Master one, but I love those kinds of things. I do find, however...
This says 88 different aromas.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I do find, here's the problem with aroma kits, is they're built by flavor companies and perfumers. Okay. And when you isolate strawberry, say, you leave out all the other things in strawberry. And so you end up with a strawberry smell, but a real strawberry smells like dirt and strawberry and green leaves, and it's so complex. And so what you find is these notes in a tasting kit that are hyper narrow, and they are accurate, but
just for one
piece
of the overall experience.
And no whiskey ever delivers one thing, but it's still worth doing it to learn markers for things.
Mm-hmm. What do we got there?
Silly Old Goose, Pristinop.
Pristinop. What makes Silly Old Goose a grain spirit aged in oak barrels?
Because we had to call it that legally. It's not vodka because we aged it in a barrel.
Yeah. Would it be distilled even higher than whiskey? William Schabbert. Barnyard aromas need aromatic nasal additives. Good day, Banana, Weenus, and Grundle. Hey, Rex. That Port Charlotte heavily peated is wonderful, right? Hell yeah. I'm glad I picked it up while on vacation. Question, have y'all thought of aging a whiskey while it's sitting on water? Fill a large enough hole on your property. Oh God, the mosquito trap.
Oh God, that'd be terrible.
Yeah, then hold a large amount of water and then build a barrel raft and float the dang thing. Maybe we could put it like the fountain and then...
So the water's moving? Yeah. It's just bobbing around?
Yeah. And then hope like the thousands of people that go through wedding parties don't get curious and tap into the barrel.
That water is going to leak into the barrel, and that's chlorine treated water. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
it would need to be. I mean, even like Jefferson's Ocean.
Yeah,
it's not out exposed to the elements.
Right.
It's going to be still getting the motion, but down in the hold.
Right.
Yeah, but that would be cool. You know what? We're one yacht away.
Yeah. The last one, when it comes to the tier setup that states have, what is the opinion of producers when it comes to distributors using product allocations as a way to push sales of other whiskeys? It's bullshit. But it's every version of the tiered system is bullshit, just in different ways. Yeah. And not having any of it all would also be bullshit, just in a different way. Because then you could reasonably have cabals taking over entire retail areas of the state, and craft guys would be like, "Well, sorry."
I can cabal.
Yeah, you want to cabal?
I cabal good and hard.
Martin Trudeau, ever thought to do Whiskey Vault episodes of your own releases? No, we actually made a decision early on that we would never review our own stuff because we can't really be objective.
Like, people can't pay for reviews.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we have a financial interest. We're effectively getting paid to review our own stuff. So no.
That's for Tribe.
Yeah. Well, and even in Tribe, we will talk about our own stuff, but we're not getting paid to do reviews on Tribe.
Yeah. He just wanted to do it. That's what she said joke.
Yeah.
Jason Curielson.
What was it?
Just some time minute.
Was it
he
good?
Just linked to an episode we would have to go watch to find the joke.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Curielson, what do you drink when you're not drinking whiskey? Mezcal and tequila.
Gin. And I had a mezcal martini last night. Mm-hmm. Gin, if we're talking alcohol, I do some beer.
I can't do beer.
I do wine when I'm with my parents. And kombucha, even though that has the alcohol removed. I do the booch.
All right.
I like 2 or 3 times a week, I booch it up.
Done. Yeah. Justin Brown, what's the one flavor you think is overrated when it comes to whiskey that's really popular? I don't know. I don't actually have an answer to that question.
Overrated flavor?
I don't think there is any flavor that's overrated. There's flavors that are common, like vanilla or cherry or caramel, because that's barrel.
There's a flavor you don't like the granola note.
Yeah, I don't.
But it's it's not highly rated.
It's not highly rated, except by some nerds. So maybe that. Maybe that really grain forward note.
We have Justin Seymour. Are we limited to how many staves we can buy and engrave? Is it names only? No, not limited. And if it fits on a stave, then have fun.
Yeah. Chris McIntosh. So far, I haven't really picked up a dark or dried fruit note in any whiskey. Is there a low-cost, accessible whiskey I should try that is likely to have this? Yeah. If you live anywhere you can get your hands on a Costco release, get one of their sherried scotches. Mm-hmm. If not, than a good budget dark fruit.
Glendronach?
No, that's
how
not
expensive
cheap.
is
That's
that?
not budget.
It's not cheap?
No.
I'm so spoiled.
Yes, you are. You know what?
I was-
Glenmorangie, Quentin Rubin, because Glenmorangies are a bit on the more budget
But
side.
if you want to crank it up, then Glendronach.
Port cask. Yeah.
Glendronach in my head was like a mid-tier price point. But what are you saying?
No, it's like 70 to 100 now.
No, it's mid-tier.
Okay, that's mid-tier?
Yeah, for Scotch.
Okay. Yeah, he said budget.
Oh, okay.
That's a different ballgame.
Okay, well, I mean, it's free for me, so it's about as budget as you get.
Stephen Collins. I found the Draft One quintessential whiskey list from 3 years back and couldn't track down any follow-ups. I've recently started doing follow-ups to it in the polls and comments community section of this channel. So we just added some new ones, and we're getting close. We're about to name the Campbelltown. The Campbelltown is about to be named.
Nice. You skipped the John Whalen.
Oh.
I'm gonna name my next boat. Maybe. All right. Anybody that watches Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I've never seen that.
Okay.
Is that a joke from that show?
No. If I ever get a boat, just understand, we're gonna name it The Implication.
I don't know what that means. Zinder's the Squirrel. Why? There's a lot of people serious about squirrels in the comments.
Brianna knows. She watches Always Sunny. Yeah, it's a horrible, horrible reference. It's so bad. You shouldn't watch the show. It's a bad show for bad people.
Okay. Zinder's the Squirrel. Jackalope. Any possible way to get another coin? These were the coins that we gave to people who came and did the tastings.
Oh.
He wants to give it to a dear friend.
I don't know, because that was a limited run. I don't know if they have any left. If you know what, email
yeah.
ops@whiskeytribe.com,
Ask him if we have any left.
because he will have an idea of the inventory for those coins. But that was a limited run for a limited release and all that stuff. That's the time we have.
That's
the time
pretty good,
I think.
30 minutes.
I'm going to call Alex and tell him to come push the button.
Oh, just so we don't screw it up? Oh, no, I got to get out of here.
All right. Bye, guys.